Medical procedures should be a choice and not a requirement for all. Medical procedures come with many risks and benefits. The decision to have any medical procedure should not be taken lightly. For any medical procedure, the complete list of risks and benefits should be given to the one that is considering the procedure. Having all of the risk and benefit information allows a potential patient to weigh both sides of the coin and make a decision that they are comfortable with. If one is fully informed whether one decides to have the procedure or not, the outcome will be fully on them. One particular medical procedure that should be offered with full informed consent is the vaccine. In the fast-paced world of today, everyone wants quick and easy. Less is better and actually preferred. As a convenience, vaccines are now given at a doctor's offices, health departments, drive-up clinic, drugstores, and even places like Walmart. The quick and easy leads to people being much less informed on things that they should be. Vaccines have seemed to take on the role as a rite of passage for babyhood. Many people are led to believe that vaccines are mandatory to live in society and do not give them a second thought. Therefore, parents take their babies to doctor's appointments very often during the first 5 years of life. These appointments are usually quick and convenient and not very informative. Doctors often have nurses administer the shots without any information at all, and provide the parent with the vaccine information sheet on the way out the door. This sheet only briefly lists basic adverse reactions and not a full display of ingredients or possible adverse reactions. Vaccine advocates battling with informed consent advocates have made vaccines a very hot topic. Those that are strongly for vaccines believe that the doctors have medical degrees and that any consent beyond the vaccine information sheet is not necessary. They fear that with consent will come fear, and with fear will come more and more people refusing vaccines, thus the return of what they see as vaccine-preventable diseases. Those that believe that vaccines should be a choice and only after informed consent believe that the doctors are not as upfront as they should be when it comes to informing each patient of the dangers. They say that the doctors should go through each vaccine to be administered and be informed of each possible risk and benefit. They want a list of the ingredients in each vaccine, every possible adverse reaction, and even stories of those that have benefited and those that have been harmed. They feel that these things are necessary to make a decision about what they are being asked to put into their bodies and the bodies of their children. The fact that in 1986 Ronald Reagan signed into the law the National Vaccine Injury Act is also a huge debate between those for and against vaccines. This law gives the vaccine manufacturers a complete release from liability if their product does any harm, including death to those receiving it. In short, they cannot be sued if for any negligence. Out of this law also came the National Vaccine Injury Court, where one that has been vaccine injured or their family, if they have died, can seek compensation for their injuries or death. This court, however, does have a cap in the amount that can be paid out, which is $250,000, and only about 10% of the cases requesting to be heard actually make it to court. The funds that are paid out through the stems for a 0.75 surcharge that is placed on every single vaccine that is administered. The fact that the manufacturers are not held liable for their product, together with the fact that there is a court just for vaccine injuries and death shows that there is a present danger and a need for informed consent when suggesting the administration of vaccines. The amount compensated for vaccine injuries for the official years 2020 through 2025 had a total payout to those injured by vaccines of $5,424,288,125.46. Another big issue that comes up between those that are for vaccines and those against them is the safety studies. Currently, there is no study on the CDC's schedule that tests a true placebo against a vaccine. Vaccines are studied against either another vaccine or a vaccines against an adjuvant such as aluminum. The lack of double-blind studies is another thing that puts doubt in the mind of those that are being asked to accept a vaccine. Currently, Robert Kennedy Jr. is the Secretary of Health and Human Services. Kennedy has vowed to make vaccines transparent by having proper studies conducted. He has promised to have double-blind placebo studies performed by non-biased parties. He has also committed to research and redo the childhood vaccine schedule to test it for safety. These actions is a step in the right direction to having vaccines be safe. More steps need to be taken to ensure that there will be definite informed consent. Vaccines, just like every other medical procedure, does not definite risks and should be considered carefully. After having been given full and complete informed consent, anytime it is suggested for one to take a vaccine, the one that is presenting the vaccine should be willing to fully explain the risks, benefits, ingredients, and any necessary information that directly relates to the safety of the proposed vaccine. Again, as with any medical procedure, vaccines come with risks and they should be fully disclosed to the recipient. It is also wise, as the patient, to always research everything, and that includes vaccines. Educate before you vaccinate.